Okay. So before the break, we said that if you want to solve rational equation, you got to find common denominator, right? And then multiply both sides by common denominator. The goal is to make the denominator go away, right? So then the question can look easier. So let's try this one. What will be the common denominator here? Elaine? Elaine, are you there? What's the common denominator?
Sorry, just getting my mic out.
Okay.
C minus 1 times C plus 2.
Yeah, C minus 1 times C plus 2. Okay, so we'll take that and multiply both sides. Okay, to save our writing, okay, let's see. I'll do it this way. That's our common denominator. So I'm gonna just put a big bracket like that. And then the common denominator we are going to multiply is C minus 1 and C plus 2. Okay, so this thing is going to multiply into each of the fraction. Okay, so when you multiply with the first one on the left, what would be left? Chris, can you tell us what it looks like after multiply one at a time? Okay, multiply the first fraction. What do you get?
First fraction would be 4 times C plus 2.
Say that one more time. 4 and then?
And C plus 2.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Okay, now we'll go to the second one. Okay, Amanda, what do you get?
Minus 4 bracket C minus 1.
Yeah, very good. Okay, and then now the right-hand side. Evan?
C bracket C minus 1.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so each of the denominator got canceled, okay, as it distribute inside. So once you get here, no more fraction, we're happy, right? Just expand everything. So get 4C plus 8 minus 4C. Remember the multiplying is -4, that goes in. Okay, so that should give you a +4, not a -4, equal to C squared minus C. Okay, what do you think we should do now? Because this question is different from the last one, right? Before the regular equation, it has no square. This time we have square. It's still regular, right? No fractions, right? But you carry a square. How do we do the equation? Jenny, any suggestion for us? How do we do this now?
Maybe factor?
Factor?
Like,
yeah, how?
4C plus 8 could be 2C plus, actually, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe, like, combine the like terms. Sorry, I was looking for the word.
Sure, my like terms.
So 4C minus 4C would be 0C.
Okay, so they cross out. Good.
Yeah. And then 8 plus 4 is 12.
Okay, yeah, go on. Okay, let me copy it down. And then what do we do? Does it look something familiar that something you learned before in the first term a while back?
I don't remember, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Does it look familiar though?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. Can someone else help out? Anyone? Did we learn something like this before to solve this? Did everybody forget how to solve this?
Complete the square.
This is called a quadratic equation, right? And then Elaine said, complete the square. That's one of the method. So one of them is called complete square. Okay, you guys can write this down, okay, as a review. So you can check your book 1, okay, how to solve this. But other than complete square, there are other methods you should try first. Anyone else want to add in the list? What other methods to solve quadratic equation?
Is there the cross multiplying one?
Cross multiplying, very good. That's one of them. Let me add that in. That's the number 2, cross multiply. Anyone else remember the first one and the third one?
Factoring?
Factoring includes cross multiply, and there's another factoring. That was G.
Greatest common factor?
Yes, very good. You always check for GCF first, right? If no GCF, you move on to cross multiply. Well, in general, it's just try to factor, right? And what about the third one? Anyone?
Isolate variable.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay, isolate variable. Did you look at book 1 or you just remember?
I looked at the book.
Oh, good, very good. Okay, you didn't lose it. No. Okay, in fact, there's one more. Anyone? Last one. If it's not factorable, what else can you do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is it formula?
Formula, very good. Quadratic formula. Quadratic formula, it can solve any quadratic equation, right? Negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay? Yeah, I'll let you guys write this down. Okay, if you forgot, you don't have to go back to the book. But if you want to look at the examples, right, you have your book 1 to refer. Okay, so to begin, you need to turn this into general form. Okay, so we're gonna move everything to one side. Oops. I'll move the 12, okay, to the same side as the C, so minus 12 equals 0, okay? And move everything to the right side, but then I write it on the left, okay? And make one side become 0. So this one, do we have GCF? Brandon?
No GCF.
No GCF, okay? So we move on to cross multiply, right? Cross factor. So we try to factor this into two brackets. Okay, so once you got the factor, you can raise your hand. I'll let you do this part. You have factored many times now. Okay, please raise your hand if you finish the factoring. Anyone forgot how to factor? Sherwin, have you found it? Okay, Selena, what are the factors?
C subtract 4C plus 3.
Okay, C subtract 4, C plus 3. Okay. And Marcus, did you get the same?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what to do after this, after we factor?
No.
You will take each bracket and then similar to the way you find restriction, you solve for C. Okay? So C minus 4 equal to 0, it gives you C equals to
4.
yeah, and then you do the same thing for the other one.
C equals a -3.
Yeah, okay. So instead of restriction, right? Restriction is C cannot equal, but these ones is C equals because they are answers, okay? Should be -3 there. So that's your two answers for this rational equation. Okay, what else is missing? Waylon?
Restrictions.
Which will be?
Wait, let me calculate it. Is it C cannot be -4 and C cannot be negative?
Where do you get them from? Where do you need to look?
Not sure.
Where do you usually find restriction?
Simplified part.
In all the homework you've done, where do you look for restrictions?
Oh, like the process, like when simplifying like the equation.
Huh? Okay, hold on. Okay, then don't turn off the mic. Okay, I'm here now. Okay, look at all these questions. Okay, this is last homework. We got the restriction, like for example, 31.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the restriction for 31?
X cannot be 2 or -2.
You know where we got them from?
Yeah.
Where?
From like the red box area and the like the how to say it, like from all the steps too.
Where exactly? Where?
Denominator.
Yes, okay, you only look at denominator. Okay, restriction is the denominator. Okay, for example, this one, 54.
Yeah.
Where do you find restriction?
The denominator, so 4 and 1.
Yeah, okay, so go back to that. How do you find restriction for this?
I think should it be C cannot be -2.
Where did you get it from?
I'm trying to find the denominator. Right.
Where do you see denominator?
Wait.
The only place that has denominator is where?
Like the question.
Yeah, the question, right? Because our goal is to get rid of denominator. So the only place to look at is the question. So?
Yeah.
So how do you find it?
So just look at the denominator. Find common denominator.
You don't need to find common denominator. The denominator, what's in it?
Oh, wait.
What's in the denominator?
So it's C minus 1 and C plus 2.
Yeah. So you
And
get common denominator from them. You know how to do that?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What's that?
Oh wait, let me first do it really quick. Should it be C plus 2?
C
Wait.
plus 2 is the denominator, right? You take the C plus 2 and then make it not equal to what?
Oh, wait, could you repeat that?
The denominator is C plus 2, right?
Yeah.
So you will say C plus 2 cannot equal to what?
0.
Yeah. And then you solve for,
So C cannot be -2.
okay, and where else?
C minus 1 cannot equal to 0.
Mm-hmm.
So C cannot equal to 1.
Yeah, okay. So you need to know where to find the denominator, okay? Where to get the restrictions. It's part of the answer, okay? Because you need that to check if you can keep your answer or not, okay?
Alright.
So right now the C is 4 and -3. It's not the restriction, so we can keep it, okay?
Alright.
Okay, so let's recap quickly, right? You just need to get common denominator and multiply every fraction with it. And then at the end, right, during the step, you might get a quadratic equation or you get something that's easier, like the left side. And then at the end, don't forget restrictions, okay? We're gonna do, I'll pick a couple more, okay? Let's do question D. Okay, on next page. Does anyone need to copy the notes here? Is everyone okay here? Anyone has questions? Okay, slow me down if it's too fast, okay? Or help me speed up, okay? All right, I'll let you try this one. Okay, Angela, how do we begin? What's the first thing we need to do?
Move the 3 to the left side.
No, that's
Oh,
the very first thing. You don't need to
Uh,
move anything.
find the common denominator.
Not yet.
Can you factor first?
Yes, always factor first. Okay, which part can be factored?
2b minus 4.
Okay, tell me what it becomes.
2 bracket b minus 2.
Yeah, okay. Anything else can be factored?
No.
No, okay. So after you factor, then you can start to find common denominator, okay? That way you get a more accurate common denominator. Otherwise, you would just pick this one and then say that's common denominator, okay? Remember to always factor first. So these examples that we did in class, they are like templates, right? So you get very detailed notes. So make sure you study these one before you begin your homework. Okay, it tells you what to do first. Otherwise, you'll keep on making the same mistakes. Okay, so next step, after you get a common denominator, you need to multiply. Okay, multiply both sides by a common denominator. So I'll let you carry out, give you a few minutes, okay? Maybe some of you can finish all the way to the end. Okay, if you get an X, please raise your hand. But let's check the common denominator first, okay? Marcus, what's the common denominator for this question?
B minus 2.
That's it?
I think.
Do you see both denominator in the common denominator?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what's the denominator for the first fraction?
2b minus 2.
You see that in your common denominator?
Yeah, no, 2b minus 2.
Yeah, you will need that, okay? This is how you check. Your common means the same, right? So common denominator, it must include all the denominator in the question. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the second one, b minus 2, is already inside. Okay. So that will be the denominator that you need to multiply with. 2 and b minus 2. Okay. So multiply into each one of them. Okay, we have one person already got the final answer. Don't forget restriction 2. Okay, we have 5 answers now. Not 5 answers, 5 people finished. Okay, 6, 7. Okay, anyone have questions? Is there anyone got stuck? Like how to multiply? Okay, let's check answers, shall we? Ivy, what do you have? What's your final answer?
7/2.
7/2. Okay, anyone got something different? Harry, what do you have?
I got the same thing.
Same thing, okay. Evan?
Oh, no. I got B equals 7/2.
Oh, B. Oh, yeah, not X. You're right. Okay, my bad. Okay, I'm wrong. Should be B. Yeah, B equals 7/2. Okay. Evan, how about you? What do you have?
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Same thing. Okay. Okay. So we have anyone got different? Let's multiply in. Okay. Check your steps. When you multiply with the first fraction, everything cancel out. So you should only left with 3. Okay. With the second one, it cancels out the b minus 2, so you still have a 2, so it should be 3 times 2. For the right side, nothing cancels, right? Because there's no denominator. So it'll be 3 times 2 times b minus 2. Okay, so it turns out to be very easy here, okay? 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 equals to 6b minus 2. Expand. Okay, and then isolate b. Move the 12 over, so 21 equal to 6b. And then divide, you'll get that. Okay, Jenny, how are you doing? Did you get the same?
Oh yeah, I forgot to raise my hand. Sorry.
Okay, can you tell us your restriction then?
My restriction is 4/2.
Where did you get that?
I got it from the factor part. Wait,
Oh,
no,
huh?
I got it from like the beginning question part.
Oh, the question part, okay. Or you can look at the part that's factored, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you said 4/2, what would that be the same as?
That would be 2 as well. So yeah.
Okay, so it will be easier if you look at the one that's factored.
Okay.
Okay, so this one, it's okay, right? It checks the answer, then it's okay to keep it, okay? So B is 7/2. Okay, let's do next page, okay? Next page, question G. Okay, Angela, what's the first step? Huh?
You factor?
Yes, okay, this time you got it right. Okay, so Brandon, can you tell us which part can be factored?
D plus 5 or D minus 5?
Factor.
Sorry, my bad. D, these you can factor D squared minus 25 to D.
D.
D bracket. Wait, did I mess it up? D plus 5, a bracket D plus 5 times D minus 5.
Okay, very good. This is called the difference of square, okay, or factor by formula, if you remember, okay? And then right side is 4D, D minus 5, plus D, nothing to factor on the right side, okay? The only thing we can factor is the first fraction. Okay, next step is to multiply with the common denominator. Okay, so we need to identify the common denominator. Okay, so this time I'll step aside, let you go all the way to the end. Okay, you guys figure out the common denominator and do the rest, okay? Let's see if we can go get this one. This one will be, let me see, similar to the question on the right side, okay? The one that has quadratic, okay? You'll end up with a quadratic equation. So you need to think about, right? Go back to your notes. Take a look at how do you solve quadratic equation. Is there anyone having trouble getting a common denominator or just want to check if your common denominator is right? Okay, Marcus, what's the common denominator you use?
I use d plus 5 and d minus 5.
That's good. Okay, d plus 5, d minus 5. That's correct. So we take that, multiply to each of the fraction. Okay, we have a couple people got the answer. Is there anyone got stuck right now? Let me know, okay? So I can help you solve the problem.
I got stuck.
Okay, how far are you? Can you tell me how far you got?
So I factored it in.
Yeah, what do you get?
4d squared plus, on the right side,
Okay, right side.
I got 4d squared plus 20d plus d squared minus 5d.
Hold on. Can we slow down? Don't multiply in the 4D yet, okay? So 4D times what?
4d times d plus 5.
Okay, and then?
And then plus d, and then d minus 5.
Yeah, so far all good. How about left side?
I left it. I just left it as 9d squared, and I just crossed out the bottom.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, all good so far. And then?
And then I factored in the right side.
Okay.
So 4d squared plus 20d plus d squared minus 5d.
Yeah, okay. All good, yeah. And then?
Yeah. And then I put the same numbers on the right together. So 5d squared plus 15d.
Okay.
And then I minus 9d squared on both sides.
Okay.
And then I got stuck.
Okay, what's on the left side then?
0.
Okay, what's on the right side then?
Negative 4d squared plus 15d.
Okay, once you get here, this is called a quadratic equation, right? Because this equation has square inside. We call that quadratic equation. So once you get there, then you go back to the notes on top, right? Quadratic equation, we got these 5 tools to help you solve. You can think about, do we have GCF? Can we cross multiply to factor, right? Factor, right? Can we isolate variable, right? Usually, factor will solve the problem. If it doesn't factor, then you go on to the formula, the last one. Okay, Harry?
Okay.
Yeah, so you take a look. Do you think we can do anything?
Should I take a D out first?
You can do that, okay? So that's how you proceed to next step, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Once you factor, right? Once you factor, you look at your notes again, right? Once you factor, please don't freeze up on me, okay. Once you factor, then you solve each bracket, right? Each one you get an answer, each one you get an answer. So you will get 2 answers out of each factor. Okay, the rest of you, if you finish the answer, right, please raise your hand. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see your comment, okay. Anyone else have trouble? Please raise your hand. It's like 80% done now, right? Only 4 people finished? Is there anyone got stuck after factoring? Okay, Evan, can you tell us what to do now? Evan, are you there? Evan, how about Harry? Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Did you factor it?
Mm, kind of.
You say you take out the D, right?
Yeah, but then I put it back in.
Huh? Why do you put it back in? Huh?
Because when I square root, I wanted 2 D's in the back, so then I could just
2D at the back.
uh
I don't get it. You take out the D first. You tell me what's left.
negative 4D plus 15.
Yeah, so once you factor the D out, right, then you have 2 factors, right? One is the D, one is the negative 4D plus 15.
Yeah.
Then you just solve each one. You make each of the bracket equal to 0. That's how you solve.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
You have to take out your book 1, okay, and then take a look at quadratic equation. How to solve quadratic equation, okay? This is very, very important.
Oh.
Okay? You say you multiply back in, then you will go back to the previous line, right? Then you get stuck again.
Yeah, I tried using the negative B plus minus.
Oh, yeah, you could use that, right? But Only if it's not factorable. It still works, right? It just takes longer, right, to plug A, B, C into the formula. It still works, but it's not necessary, right? It's not the best way, right? So if factorable, then you just go the factor way, it's faster.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So if you use the formula, then your A will be -4, B will be 15, C will be 0. Okay, but it takes a lot of time to plug all the number into the formula. So we wouldn't choose that if if it's factorable. How's everyone doing? Still only 4 people. I'm like almost finishing the question for you. Okay, come on. What's the final answer? We are 1 step away. Where's everybody else? Talk to me. Anyone got stuck? If you're still not finishing, that means you have trouble now. Okay, Chris, what's the question? Where are you stuck?
Step.
Huh?
I'm stuck on the last step.
You mean right now, this step?
Yes.
Okay, then you gotta talk to me. Okay. You have to let me know, okay? So you factored it, right, Chris?
Yes.
Okay, then you just take each bracket and make it equal to 0. Each bracket equal to 0 and then solve for D. Do you understand what I mean?
No.
Okay, like over here on the top, do you see the C minus 4C plus 3?
Oh.
Right? Do you see where I put a star? Yeah? Chris?
Yes.
Okay, so each of the bracket, you make it equal to 0. And then you isolate C, right? Then you get your answer. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, you do the same thing. Okay, you guys have to go back and review quadratic equation, okay? Just look at the first page on quadratic equation, that's enough. Review how to use GCF, how to cross multiply factor, okay? Jiawen, are you stuck?
I think I finished the question.
Say that again.
I finished the question.
You finished the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you didn't raise your hand.
Oh.
Okay, I thought you have questions. Selena, how about you?
I don't know what to do. I forgot.
Okay, you make each bracket, right? We have 2 brackets here. What's the first bracket?
D.
Yeah, so you make D equal to 0. That's the first bracket, okay? What's the second bracket?
-4D plus 15.
Yeah, and you make the second bracket also equal to 0, okay? And then the first one is already solved because the D is by itself already, it's done. The second one, you need to isolate D. Got it?
Okay.
Okay, so solve for D and tell me what you got.
D equals 15/4.
Yeah, 15/4. Very good. Okay. So the old things that you learned before is dragging you guys down here. Okay. So quadratic equation. Now you have, I hope it has helped you review. Okay. You just factor it and then take each of the factor, make it equal to 0 and solve for D. Okay. Angela, what else are we missing here?
restrictions?
Yeah, D cannot be. Where do you find that?
The original question or the factored form?
Yeah, I will prefer the factor one. So what's the restriction then?
D can't be -5 or 5.
Yep, so plus minus 5. Okay, perfect. So restriction does not reject any of the answers, so we keep everything here. Okay, so any questions, you can stay after class, okay? And I suggest you guys review, okay? Strongly suggest review the quadratic equation. Okay, later I'll post the answer key to homework, last homework. Okay, you can complete the correction. Okay, bye-bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You.
You're welcome.